Leveraging your learning style is super important to your study journey. Today, let's go over the learning style quiz and then also discuss how you can leverage your learning style in order to maximize your study routine. Okay, first, we're going to go over some several questions. You can do this with the link. You can pull up the learning style quiz yourself, but I also wanted to read it out loud from those that are auditory. So if you're ready to take the learning style quiz, go ahead and take your paper and pen or your phone and record all of the answers to the following questions. Number one, when you study for a test, would you rather A, read notes, read headings in a book, look at diagrams and illustrations, B, have someone ask you questions or repeat facts silently to yourself, C, write things out on index cards and make models or diagrams? Two, which of these do you do when you listen to music? A, daydream, C, things that go with the music, B, hum along, or C, move with the music, tap your foot. Three, when you work at solving a problem, do you A, make a list, organize the steps, and check them off as they are done? B, make a few phone calls and talk to friends or experts? Or C, make a model for the problem or walk through all the steps in your head? Four, when you read for fun, do you prefer A, travel book with lots of pictures in it? B, a mystery book with a lot of conversation in it? C, a book where you answer questions and solve problems? Five, to learn how a computer works, would you rather A, watch a movie about it or YouTube? B, listen to someone explain it? Or C, take the computer apart and try to figure it out for yourself? Six, you have just entered a science museum. What will you do first? Look around and find a map showing the locations of the various exhibits. B, talk to a museum guide and ask about exhibits. C, go into the first exhibit that looks interesting and read directions later. Seven, what kind of restaurant would you rather not go to? A, one with lights too bright. B, one with the music too loud. Or C, one with uncomfortable chairs. Would you rather go to A, an art class, B, a music class, or C, an exercise class? Nine, which are you most likely to do when you are happy? A, grin, B, shout with joy, or C, jump with joy? 10, if you were at a party, what would you be most likely to remember the next day? A, the faces of the people there, but not the names. B, the names, but not the faces. Or C, the things you did and said while you were there. 11, when you see the word dog, what do you do first? Think of a picture of a particular dog. B, say the word dog to yourself silently. Or C, sense the feeling of being with a dog, i.e., petting it. When you tell a story, would you rather A, write it, B, tell it out loud, or C, act it out? 13, what is most distracting for you when you are trying to concentrate? A, visual distractions, B, noises, or C, other sensations like hunger, tight clothes, or worrying? 14, what would you most likely do when you are angry? A, scowl, B, shout or blow up, C, stomp off and slam doors? 15, when you aren't sure how to spell a word, which of these are you most likely to do? A, write it out to see if it looks right, B, sound it out, or C, write it out to see if it feels right? And 16 is our last one. Which are you most likely to do when standing in a long line at the movies? A, look at the posters advertising other movies. B, talk to the person next to you. Or C, tap your foot or move around in some other ways. Okay, now that we did 16 questions, I want you to tally up all of your A's, B's, and C's. And I want you to put them in order. If your A was the highest, write how many and put A. If B was the highest, write how many, put B, C, and so forth. So you should say this is how many A's I have, this is how many B's I have, this is how many C's, and then put them in order, highest to lowest. Now, we're going to go over what this means for you. If you scored mostly A's, you are a visual learner, and you probably already knew this. And the questions were very targeted. You knew that A was visual, you knew B was auditory, and you knew C was hands on or kinesthetic. But I think what it is the most important is, what do you normally do the most of? And so if you're visual, taking notes, closing your eyes to visualize, illustrations, colors, using different colors. You can highlight in different colors or write in different colors, using note cards, different apps, or Quizlet are going to be very beneficial for you. You can also use Post-it notes. Put your information on Post-it notes and post it all over the place, because that will give you a constant visual of what you're trying to learn. If you scored mostly B's, then you're an auditory learner. You want to be able to read aloud, verbalizing the lessons. You could also listen to different YouTube videos. Um, you don't have to record yourself reciting the material, because there's so many different YouTube podcasts and different ways to get the information in an audio form that you don't have to create it yourself. And lastly, if you scored mostly C's, then you might need to be active while you're studying. So you could be cooking and study. You could drive and study, of course, with caution. You could be doing some type of activity while studying, or while listening, doing some type of movement. Also, frequent breaks may be important. Rely on what they can directly experience or perform. So you might need to do a little role play to understand or to remember the information. Or you might need to ask your supervisor or your colleagues or your study partner about some actual things that they've experienced before that would actually explain the material better for you to really understand it. Activities may also help. So this is where you can do practice questions. For my hands-on kinesthetic learners, it's okay to do practice questions before you study, because it's kind of how you learn. And so you can do your practice questions and then look up the information to see why you got it wrong. Definitely the behavioral health app will be really good for you, because a lot of their information is definition based. And so that will help you in studying. And the other thing I want you to know is that you could have a mixture of the three. So if you had, let's say, you had 8 A's and 7 B's, then you can kind of switch back and forth. If you were kind of even with all three, maybe you had 5, 5, and 6, then you can also switch in and out. But I want you to pay attention. If you are 11, 12, 13, A or B or C, you really want to make sure that you're maximizing your learning style. Because I'm telling you, I can't tell you how many times people have said, oh, I thought I was mostly visual, but I'm really auditory. So you're reading a book, you're doing note cards, and you really don't have to. I mean, you can, just as a way of reinforcing, but your main learning style is going to be auditory, and you need to maximize that. So follow these tips and follow my Instagram at mrs.sapphireBoone for more tips. And I can't wait to talk to you again about how to make sure that you are maximizing your learning style.